President. Just a few years ago when I finished school, well, actually maybe it was a bit longer than that, I did an apprenticeship. In electronic servicing. And if I had $1 for every time that someone brought some equipment in that said, I've replaced the fuse multiple times but I still have the same problem, it would have been a handy little bonus on top of the small little salary I used to receive as an apprentice. Because people would just replace the fuse without actually dealing with the underlying problem. The reason why a fuse blows is because there's an oversupply of current going through that circuit. It's beyond the capacity of that circuit, and therefore the fuse blows. And this is what is going on right now when it comes to our energy policy in this country. We keep doing the same thing, or at least this government keeps doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And there is a root cause of the problem that is here, and that is the problem that prices are going up through the roof, that people are seeing their energy bills go up time and time again. We've seen a 40% increase in the cost of people's electricity bills. Now, the Labor Party might like to convince people that their own eyes are deceiving them when they're looking at their bill and it's clear before them that their power bill has gone up. But their own eyes do not tell a lie, because people can see that the cost of energy has gone up. And the reason why this is occurring is because the blind ideology of this government that's forcing them, that's having them time and time again continuing to go down this path of pursuing what is so-called lowest cost of energy, is actually driving up the cost of energy. And that's why people are seeing the result on their power bills. That's why we're seeing large industrial-scale projects under pressure. You only need to go to the front page of the Western Australian newspaper site today to see that Lynas, a rare earth producer in the goldfields, has said that they have unreliable supply of energy and it is driving up their costs. And we need rare earth. We've just signed a deal with the United States. These sort of projects are at risk because of the high cost and the unreliability of the energy grid. And so this pursuit of net zero without the reliability, with increased costs, is just like replacing that fuse time and time again. And it just keeps blowing, and Australians are feeling the pressure of that every single day. So we've got to get serious about addressing the high cost of energy and the unreliability that is now occurring in our electricity grids, because it's not fair. It's not fair that Australians are facing these high costs, because they were promised ahead of the previous election that their power bills would in fact go down by $275. But of course, Australians are seeing that that has not occurred. They've not seen the lower costs of energy. This Labor government has spent $75 billion and has only delivered higher prices. They've seen stalled emissions and uncertainty for households. Industry in the regions are facing the pressure of this government's policies when it comes to energy. It's proposed that to reach their 2035 target, a further $530 billion in additional spending will be required to be able to meet those objectives. And this is only going to drive up the cost. That's $50,000 per Australian household. $50,000 per Australian household to meet the objectives of their ideology. What we need is reliable power. What we need is cheaper power. What we need is affordable power, so that Australians can pay their way, so that Australians can actually make their ends meet. But unfortunately, under this government, that is all out of control. And we're seeing large industrial-scale projects, like the ones that we need out in the goldfields with this Lynas project, under pressure, under threat, because of the pursuit of this policy of net zero. Now, what we need to see is some sensibility come in to our energy grid, some sensibility come into our energy policy. That is what the coalition is offering. We're calling it quits when it comes to this pursuit of a blind ideology, and we need to pursue lowest cost, affordable and reliable energy and not cost Australians their livelihoods.
O'Sullivan.
Authorised by Matt O'Sullivan, Liberal Party, Perth.